Welcome to Inside Major League Pickleball. I'm Will Daughton, here to catch you up on what you missed from a memorable event in St. Louis and get you ready for this week's event in the Lone Star State. Chaffetz Arena played host to the Marathon MLP St. Louis, and boy was it an electric atmosphere for MLP's first ever event inside a designated sporting arena. I'll go through my takeaways from the week, starting with the St. Louis Shock showing out on their home court. They avenged their mid-season tournament loss to the Dallas Flash to highlight a perfect home campaign, and were led by Hayden Patrickman, who went 10-0 on the weekend. I also have to mention the Brooklyn Pickleball team, who bounced back in a big way after being swept by the Columbus Sliders in the quarterfinals of the mid-season tournament. They picked up a 3-1 victory over Columbus in what was the final regular season match for both teams to lock up what most project to be a top 4 seed heading into the playoffs. We'll take a look now at the standings based on points per match. The St. Louis Shock now occupy the top spot, with Dallas knocked down to second after suffering their first 2 losses of the season this past weekend. The top 10 teams will advance to the postseason, and you can see the Miami Pickleball Club currently holds that final qualifying position, but the Carolina Hogs, Chicago Slice, and Atlanta Bouncers aren't far behind. We're right back at it this week with the Advil Targeted Relief MLP Dallas, which is July 24th through 27th at Pickler Universe in Carrollton. This is the 9th regular season event with 9 premier teams in action. Those squads are the Carolina Hogs, Dallas Flash, Los Angeles Mad Drops, New Jersey Fives, New York Hustlers, Phoenix Flames, SoCal Heart-Eights, St. Louis Shock, and the Texas Ranchers. We'll now throw it to Dave Fleming out in the field to give us his top storylines heading into Dallas.
What's happening, everybody? Dave Fleming here. It is Sunday, July 20th, and I am standing on a glacier in Canada. Look at this right back here. Here are my big 3 storylines for Dallas next week. It's going to be incredible. Number 1, what is the Ben Johns effect for the LA Mad Drops? I can't wait to see it. He's back playing with Catherine. When was the last time they played together? They're not even sure. They're going to play the Fives, the Flash, the Shock, and the Ranchers in Dallas. We'll see if they really are the best team from that. Number 2, speaking of the Fives, they traded Noah Cliff in. How's he going to do with the clowns and the red nose? I can't wait to see how the Frenchman does with that. And then finally, the Dallas Flash lost for the first time in St. Louis. 2 losses as of Sunday morning. Can they use that home crowd like everybody else and take that to the top of the standings? We'll see. Can't wait to be on the call back in my hometown. But this is spectacular. Peace.
Thanks so much, Dave. There is certainly a lot to look forward to, especially our marquee matchups. We'll start with the St. Louis Shock taking on the LA Mad Drops on Friday at 1:45 p.m. Central. This will be the first big test for this new-look Mad Drop squad with Ben Johns, and the Shock will be looking to avenge their loss to LA from earlier this season in Daytona Beach. My second marquee matchup is the Lone Star Showdown between the Dallas Flash and Texas Ranchers on Saturday at 5:15 p.m. Central for Saturday primetime pickleball. Dallas won 22-20 in a dream breaker in the previous edition of this matchup, so the Ranchers will be looking to turn the tide with new acquisition Caitlin Christian. Action from Pickler Universe begins Thursday at noon Central, and as always, you can catch every match on Pickleball TV in the PBTV app. I'll be on the call in Dallas, so I hope to see you there. And that's going to do it for this edition of Inside Major League Pickleball. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.